Hello, everybody, and thank you for joining the Orange Love Cow. So I'm coming today because I've had quite a few of you that are confused with the pattern. So I just wanted to go through and let you see on the pattern, on the actual piece of material, what they're talking about, as well as the way that it's written here. So let's start here, right? So on the second page, it says pattern, and it says cast on 99 stitches, and this is your starting edge. So this is the beginning. You're going to cast on, you're going to do some setup rows, you're going to do row the right side and the wrong side, and then you're going to repeat them, and you're going to repeat row one more time, and then row 8 is your increase row. You're going to increase 9 stitches. So at this point you should have 108 stitches. So that's basically your ribbing. Okay, so those stitches are basically getting you here. Now we go from cast on to establish the pattern. But I'm going to show you 2 pages at this point, because when you get to the establish the pattern, you're going to see, and I'm going to pull this closer so you can see, that you truly just only have 2 rows here, the right side and the wrong side, where you're establishing the pattern. So one person was confused because in the video I said with yarn in back, but I put the note on the screen to say with yarn in front. So you're going to always, on your right side, which is where I am right now, right? Always on your right side, you're going to slip this stitch purlwise, meaning you're coming from this direction, and then you're going to knit the other 4. You always do that on the right side. Also on the right side, you're just going to knit across, right? So that's what that's telling you. Slip 1 purlwise with yarn in front, knit 4. You're going to slip the marker, and then you're going to knit to the next marker. So that's all this plain business here, right? We're going to knit all the way across to the next marker. The next marker begins your cable and bobble panel. So go back to the pattern, right? When you read row 1, it says after you knit to the marker, you're going to slip the marker, and now you're going to work row 1 of the cable and bobble panel. So now you need to look at this portion of the pattern, and you want to work these 38 stitches, row 1. That'll bring you here, right? Now if you go back, once you finish the cable, once you finish the cable and bobble panel, it says slip the marker again. So now you're at the end, the edge mark, right? And you're going to knit 3. You're going to slip the 4th stitch with the yarn still in the back, and then you're going to knit the last stitch. So that's all row 1. Now when you go to row 2, now we're turning your work over. Now we're looking at the back of your work, right? Your edging is always going to be the establishing the pattern. You're always going back here. So on your second row, on the wrong side row, I should say, you're always going to slip the first stitch purlwise. This time, you're slipping it purlwise with the yarn in front. So whether you're on the right side or the wrong side, you're always slipping with the yarn in front. Then when you're on the wrong side, the next stitch you're going to purl. Then you knit the last 3, slip the marker, and then you go back to the cable, and you're going to work that row of the cable, right? So in this case, it's telling you knit 2, purl 2, blah, blah, blah. So whatever row you're on, you're going to work that. Then if you go back to and look at the wrong side, it tells you right after you do the cable and bobble panel to the marker, slip the marker, and you're going to purl to the next marker. So what that is you're purling all the way across the remaining part of the poncho or your piece of material at this point until you get to the next marker, you're going to slip this marker. You're going to knit 3, and this time you're going to bring the yarn to the front. You're going to slip this stitch, bring that yarn right back to the back to prepare to knit the last one. So let me say that again, because somebody keeps asking me a question about the slipping, and that's where they're getting confused. So when you're on the wrong side of the work and you've done all of your stitches across, your purl stitches, you're going to slip your marker. You're going to knit 1, 2, 3. Then you're going to bring, because you're knitting, so your yarn is going to be back here. You're going to bring that yarn to the front. You're going to slip this stitch over. You're going to take that yarn back to the back, and you're going to knit this last stitch. Okay? So, again, you're always doing, these are the edge stitches. It's telling you what to do with the edge stitches. What you do in the cable and bobble depends on which side you are and where you are in the pattern. So what I'm doing, I'm going to show you guys my iPad now. Oh, so what I'm doing is I'm using an app. Oops, I'm so sorry for the shaking. I'm using an app on my iPad where I can use my pencil and mark it off. So as you can see from my markings, I'm getting ready to start row 18. Or I just finished row 18 because I'm on the right side. So I'm getting ready to do this one, knit 1 and do the bobble on the right side. I hope that helps.